Is it okay for an agency to say no sometimes? There's a general rule of thumb that if someone is paying you to do something, that you are supposed to do what you're told. Whether you're an employee working for an employer, whether you're an agency working for a client, generally speaking, that's the way things should be. And I don't entirely disagree with that. But sometimes an agency needs to learn to say no. When I say an agency, I mean a provider of digital marketing services. Could be PPC, SEO, web development, social media. They might be a two-person operation, it might be a 2,000-person operation, doesn't matter. There are cases when a client has the best interests, the best intentions with a directive or request that they give, but they can be mistaken, or there could be a better alternative, or they might not see hidden downfalls with their proposed idea or approach or strategy. And I truly believe that it's the agency's responsibility in that type of situation to respectfully push back and say no. The amount of times I've said in my career, or someone within my agency has said in our 7 years of existence, the amount of times we've said respectfully no, here's why, and here's a better alternative. If you tell me to shut up and do what I'm told, I will, but it would be professional misconduct of us not to raise this to you in the first place. An example that always comes to my head is a client of ours that we had for a number of years, very much valued and appreciated, a feminine hygiene brand worldwide. And after a couple of years, they were doing a kind of big rebrand, revamping all their imagery and messaging across every format, online, print, television, etc. Let's just say that their new slogan wasn't entirely appropriate for a worldwide market. Considering culture, it was pretty well suited to the United States, but not so much to Canada, to the UK, to Australia, and other markets that they were in that we were helping them with their marketing and advertising in. Upon gently pushing back, we were quite firmly told, nope, this is the new direction, this is a new creative, this is a new messaging, this is a new slogan, roll it out, get on with it. In that scenario, what we did was semi-acquiesce. We rolled out all the new messaging in all the countries alongside the pre-existing old messaging, so to speak, with 10% of the traffic, just as a simple split test. As we expected, after a couple of weeks, the data proved that the new messaging and design worked well in the US, but in pretty much every other country and market they worked in, the performance was tanking in terms of click-through rates and conversion rates and time on site and everything, basically. And we took that to the client, and they were very grateful that we hadn't blindly followed their instruction, and learned an important lesson about partnership and not micromanaging their agency, and the need sometimes to be told no from an agency. So now, speaking to you agency owners for a second, I know that saying no to a client is a tough thing. They're valuable to you, they're important to you, they are part of your growth, they pay your staff salaries, etc. And you don't want to do anything that risks upsetting them or harming the balance of your relationship. But at the end of the day, if you do things that are not in their best interests, even at their request, you could argue that that has the higher threat to your livelihood or income anyway. Because if they do something that's not good for them, results tank, or they get bad publicity, or they get sued, or whatever, it's not going to be long before you're negatively impacted by that too. And I think we have a professional responsibility. At the end of the day, we're the experts. We're the ones who live and breathe this subject matter, and we're often in a better position to make a clear decision on things when a client is perhaps either not as experienced or educated on some of the intricacies, or simply they're too close to it and you're not from the outside. So best of luck, and I hope that helps. Take care.